Welcome back to the second part of our project. In the last part, we have completed the entire setup and we have written the complete smart contract. Now we're going to do a little bit optimization and fix a couple of bugs. After that, we're going to start deploying the contract. So this is where we left in the last video. I hope you guys have followed it. If not, make sure to watch the last video. Every single thing would make sense. So this is absolutely fine. We have the error component and here we have to put our token address, which we're going to discuss in detail. Here you will find the entire context management and here you have to add few things. So you can see I have added this particular command. So make sure you have added this semicolon, otherwise it's going to fail the compilation. So this is the first thing you have to add. Make sure you have to add your semicolon. After that, you can come back here and here you have to also add the question mark and the semicolon so it can execute. So that's what I have given. So make sure you should add this one. Now you can come back here and here you have to initialize and add the space. That's the one thing. Now you can simply come back here and I notice one problem here. So here you can see that we are generating our ICO for ICO program. So you should remove this one. You should remove this one. You should not have this one. Okay. So this is the one actual one we have to add it. So I have simply removed this portion. And that's what you have done. So make sure to do this particular update, otherwise the compilation will fail. So this is the update you have to do here, and you have to also add the semicolon right up here. So I hope you are following this. So make sure to provide this semicolon. This is absolutely fine. Now you can come back here and check this all. Looks absolutely fine. No problem we have here. Now we can come back to the next function, to the deposit one. This looks great. And you can see here we have to add this question and the semicolon. And again, we have to do the changes right up here. You can simply provide this space or not. It's absolutely fine. But make sure you have to remove this one. So here I have the two and I have taken the updated one in which I have removed this space. That's the one thing you have to remove. And here you have to also provide the semicolon. And this is fine. And these are fine. Now you can come back here and you can see here we have to again provide this one, semicolon and the question mark. Here we have to also add the semicolon and the question mark, and here we have to add the semicolon. Looks fine. Now we can come back here. Every single thing is good, and here we have to do the changes where we are transferring the token from the program to the user. So again, you have to remove this from. I have removed that. If you come back to 2, it's absolutely fine. But when you come to authority, then you have to remove this one. Remove this one and have a normal one. Got it? Make sure to provide the semicolon. Looks fine. And here we have all of these codes. Don't need to make any changes. Now you can come back to the struct, and you have noticed that I made this mistake. So it was a spelling mistake. It's called PARSE, parse, not D. So remove that one. That's the one thing you have to remove. And you can simply come back here and here you can simply provide a little bit space. It would be better. Okay, that's what I have done. Provide this space. And we have the bum, we have the mint, we have the program, which is absolutely fine. This is also good. Don't need to make any changes. And here we have the account details about the payer. Absolutely fine. Don't need to make any changes. Here we have this. So we have the account, mint, address, and the public key. And here you have to add this particular line. So I forgot to add this one. So you have to add this pub. Then you have to give the variable name and the account and information about the mint. So this will give us the information about the token. So this is the line. In your case, it would be missing. So make sure to add this one under your create ICO token below our mint address. Got it? This is the line you have to add. Once you're done with that, now this is fine. Don't need to make any changes. And this is absolutely fine. Now you can come back to the next struct, and this is good. Don't need to make any changes. Here we have all the variable which we need. Now you can come back to the last one, which is the buy one, and here you have noticed one thing, that we have to add the space. Add the space. So that's what I have given. You have to add the space, and which we have added, and here you have to simply add the key. So earlier I was taking like the dash notation, but you have to access the variable, and that variable we have available in the ICO mint. So that's what we are asking. So make sure to access in this way, not in this way, otherwise it's going to throw an error. So this is the changes you have to do. You have to add this and you have to give a space. Looks fine. Now you can come back here. This is absolutely fine and this is good. Don't need to make any changes. Here we have all of this. This one is great, and we have all of this, and we have all of this. So I hope you have followed it. Make sure to pause the video and compare your code one by one, that you exactly have the same code. So every single thing is looking good. Now we are ready to start deploying our contract and doing the compilation. So before we do that, I want to talk about one important thing. Right now we have two different Solana token model at the moment on the Solana blockchain. So make sure you have to put the stable version. So if I come back here, if I go back to the public, there you will find an image. Click on this, and right now we are following the most stable version. So make sure to use the stable version. And I believe that if you have created a token, you have used the program, the tools for creating the token, they have used the stable version as well. So you can simply come back here. If you don't have the token, you can simply go back to the blockchain coder, and there we have a lot of tools which you can use to create your tokens. So come back to the source code section, and here you can simply type Solana, and you will find all the project which is available, which you can able to explore and create the token. So this project you can follow. It's a 5-hour long project in which you can build your custom token using the stable model, which we're going to use it in this particular project. You can also check this particular project. This one is the token creator. We have this one is the advanced token creator. We have these two different advanced creators which allow you to earn the commission when the user will create the token. So you can use all of this project to create a token, and we are following the stable model. That's the point number one. And if I open my Phantom wallet, you will find that I have already created a bunch of token which use the stable version. So right now I'm connected with the devnet, and if you come back here I have the list of all the token which I have created. So just wait, it's taking a little bit time for fetching that. And here you will find the balance I have in my wallet is good. I can click on it, I can click on the manage, and then you will find the list of the token which I have created using the stable model. So make sure you should have your token, and most of the provider which you have used for creating your token, they have used the stable version, and that's what I'm going to utilize it. So make sure to get your token address, and that's what you have to pay. So I'll simply come back here. I'm going to use the account number 1 for deploying the contract. If I come back to account number 2, do I have fund? I don't have enough fund, but I'm going to use this particular contract address. So you can simply come back here, and you can see this is the one which I'm going to use, and I have used the account number 1 to create this particular token. So I can simply come back here, I can simply go back to the mint address, I can simply copy that one, and that's what I'm going to provide here in my contract. So this is my token contract address. Now we are ready to deploy. I hope you have understood the entire architecture, that what model we are following and what are the changes you have to do in the contract and fix those minor bugs. With that, we are done with this. Now we're going to simply copy this entire code and paste it in a Solana playground. So make sure to select the entire code. Now you can come back here, open a new tab and type Solana Playground. You should always search on Google and then come back to this particular application, because right now there is a lot of fake Solana Playground is there. If you connect with the fake one and they go to withdraw all the funds. So I'm going to connect with the account number 1, because that's the account I'm going to use for deployment for my contract. And you can see here I have all the things. So I can simply come back here and go back to the manage one, and I'm going to search for the token. So not this one. I'll simply come back here in my contract, and first I'm going to search from here, copy the address, and that's what I can simply paste here, and I can see I have the fund. If you really want to see which token it is, you can simply get that, and you can do one thing. You can simply open that and you can search for Solana Explorer. You can come back here, you can simply go and go to the Solana Explorer, and you can find the details about the tokens. Right now I'm connected with the mainnet. I will simply switch to the devnet, and there I have the detail. I can paste here and hit enter, and it's going to get me the information about the token, that who is the admin, who is the creator. That's all the details which you will find. So here you will find the details about the token. So this is the token address, and this is the creator, which is the same account, GNF, and you will find that I have the same account, which is a GNF. So that's what I'm using. I hope this is how you can explore your token detail, and that's what I have provided. Now I'm going to come back here. I'm going to simply copy my entire code once again, and then come back here in the Solana Playground, and I'm going to create a new project. So let's delete this one existing one, and we can come back here. Here we have the fresh repository. I'll simply click on this create, and it's going to give me this option. So I'm picking the anchor framework. I'll say Solana ICO DApp. You can give whatever name you want. I click on this create, and here you will have the repository, and they will give you this boilerplate. Simply ignore that one, select all, remove, and paste your contract. Now you can save it, and here you will find all the things. So you can find that our contract is properly well formatted. Now we are ready to simply compile it. So to compile our contract, and if there is a problem in a contract, it's going to throw it. So I can simply come back here, and here you will have the option called build. So click on this build, and when you will click on that, it's going to generate the program adding automatically. So click on build, and there you will find that we are using the package. This is the GitHub repository. You can use internally in your VS Code, but it's good. Why we should take extra burden for installing and doing the setup for the environment? You can do that. There is no problem it. But there's a lot of setup you have to do, a lot of environment variable you have to set up in the global object. Then you can able to have the access of this particular model. So Just keep it as it is, and you can see our contract got compiled successfully. We have no issue, and once the contract will get compiled successfully, it will automatically going to fill out your program ID. This is the program ID, and you can see that right now I'm not connected with my phantom wallet, so I'll simply click here and it's going to connect. So what I will do, I'll simply come back here, and right now I'm having some issue. I'll simply give a reload to connect my wallet. So here I got the option, I can click here, and I'm going to use the same account. This is the account which I have used. If I show you my phantom wallet, I have used the account number 1 for creating my token, and I have to use the same account for deploying this particular contract. Then in that way we can able to share the authority and pass the token to our contract. This one is very important. You have to use the same account which you have used for creating the token for deploying this particular contract as well. So I already have enough fund. If you don't have enough fund, you can simply come back here and you can simply click on this airdrop, and it's going to make a request and will give you some fund in your wallet. So here I got the fund in my wallet, which is enough for me to deploy the contract. So before I do the deployment, let me reload the page one more time, and you can see every single thing is looking good. Let's come back here. Let's run the build command one more time, and it's going to compile the contract. So just wait. Once it will compile, we are ready to make the deployment. Finally, our contract is compiled. Now we are ready to deploy our contract. So click on this deploy, and it's going to make a call, and it will open our phantom wallet, and we have to perform 2 transactions and deploy the contract. So just wait. So you're getting this warning, simply ignore that one. Click on this confirm, and here you will get it one more time. Click on this confirm, and here the transaction is in the process. So I think we are having some issue in our RPC endpoint. That's why the transaction is not executing, and you can see we are getting simulation error. Not a big deal. We can simply close this one as the moment, and let's have a look to our RPC endpoint. So we can come back to the setting, and there you will find all the details about the transaction which we are trying to make it. So let's close this one. I don't want to execute it anymore, and you will find that we have all of this information. Right now we are connected with the devnet. If you click here, from here you can able to toggle between all the environment. Like you can go with the localhost, you can go with the devnet, testnet, mainnet, and custom. So if you want to add the custom endpoints, you can simply click here and you can provide and you can give the name. If you want to deploy to the mainnet, you can do that, but this particular endpoint, like if you select mainnet and if you try to execute the transaction, it will not happen because the RPC endpoint they have used is depreciated. So this RPC endpoint will no longer be working. So you have to come back here and you can able to find, explore all of the details, and you can easily able to do the customization from here and put your details. So this is one is really very important and very basic. So I would suggest you that when you want to add the custom endpoint, change the RPC endpoint, you can simply click here custom and you can give the name, or you can share the mainnet RPC URL and you can call it. Okay, you can click here and they will have a bunch of provider which you can use it, and how you can do the configuration, that's all is explained. You can use Anchor, like you can use Acme, you can use Infura, you can use like ARKM, tons of provider we have. All you have to do is to provide the RPC URL. Let's focus on this first. So I'll simply come back here and I'm going to delete this. Let's remove this one and let's open the playground one more time, because sometimes what happens is keep the history of the previous account. So here I got it and every single thing is looking good. I can see that I have the fund. So somehow the connection got lost. So as I told you that this problem is happening due to our RPC endpoint. So let's click here and I have to select the, let's say devnet, and it's going to fetch out the balance. You can see I have the balance. Now I'm going to simply get to the default. So this one is the default wallet which you will have in your Solana playground. So I'll simply select this one and I have enough fund in that. So I can simply come back here, click on the, let's click on this, and I can switch my account first and I have to copy my address. So I'll simply click here, copy the address, and you can also get the fund in this way. Like you can come back to the default wallet which you have in the playground and you can simply click and you can send to your main one. So I can simply transfer, let's say 15 SOL, and click on this transfer and it will perform the transaction. So this is one way to get the fund, because every time you will open the Solana playground, a playground, it's going to make a request to the default wallet which you will have in your Solana playground, and it's going to add the fund in that. So you can simply get it. So if you come back here to your main account, you will have enough fund it. Got it? Let's come back here. Let's open it one more. Solana playground. Now here we are. Now let's do one thing. Let's create a fresh repo, because sometimes it's created the issue by the repo. Type Solana ICO DApp and pick the anchor framework and create the repo. So here we got it. Now I can come back here. This is the entire contract. I can simply copy. Now I can come back here, remove and paste here, save it, click on this build, and it's going to rebuild our contract and it's going to compile it and it's going to give the ideal file. So just wait, soon it will be completed and we are ready to deploy our contract. So I can come back here, I can see which wallet I'm connected, so I will switch back to my actual wallet. So just wait, it's taking a little bit time, and finally it's went through. I'll simply click here, and I've noticed one thing, that I have not connected my wallet, so I'll simply close this one. And first I'm going to see what happened to my Phantom wallet, and I do have enough fund in this for performing the transaction. So let's click here, and why my wallet is not reflecting here. So first thing, I have to simply click on this connect to Phantom wallet, and you will find that I'm connected and all the fund is relating fine. So I'll simply select here, click on this build, and it's going to compile my contract. Just give some moment, and finally our contract is compiled. It looks pretty good. Now I can click on this deploy, and it's going to perform the transaction. So just a moment, we are getting this. Simply click on this confirm. We are getting the network fee, and it's going to make the transaction, executing the transaction. Just wait, and it's going to execute one more transaction, and here we got it. And the reason why we are getting this, because sometime it's a devnet, sometime it failed to stimulate the transaction. Okay, so you can click here and you will find that our contract is deployed successfully, and you will have all the details. Sometime you will get this particular message because I have used it a lot of time and I made a lot of requests, so it's failed to stimulate the transaction, but our contract is deployed successfully. You can see the signature, all the details, all the contract interaction, all the block model. That's all you can able to find. Here you have the program ID, and our program is successfully deployed. So we got our contract. Now we can come back here, and I want you to simply copy the code, whatever you have pasted, and the same code you have to bring it here. So it's in the well formatted. Perfect. Now we have deployed our contract and we got all the details. Now we have to get some details about the program ID. So this is the program ID, which you can get it from here, or you can simply copy from here. So you can simply come back here, copy, and that's what you have to paste. So close this one. Right now we are done with this. Close this one, come back here. Now you can go back. So now you can go back to environment variable, and here you have to paste that particular program ID. So this is your program ID. Now we have to get the contract, like the token address, and we have deployed this one token. So I'll simply copy, and that's what I'm going to paste here. So this is the two important variables we have got. Now we have to get our API, because right now you will find the idle file is empty. So I can do that very easily. I can come back here and I can simply call this export model, and here we have the API. So I'll simply come back to my code editor. I'm going to do the minimize a little bit, click here, and you will find that here I have the idle file which we have got for our contract. So you can simply save it, and you can simply copy the entire code, and that's what you can simply provide here. Or you can simply drag and drop, and it's going to remove the previous one. You can replace, and it will be removed, and here you got your idle file. So this is the first thing we have to do. So we have successfully deployed our contract, and this is the contract we have deployed, and successfully we have compiled our contract and got the API. It looks fine. Now we can start working on our front end, where we have to work on our context management here, and we have to work on our index page. So let's start working these two in the next video.